Okay, so welcome to Angband. So in case you don't know, Angband is one of the huge family of roguelikes. Basically, you see the star screen here. We're gonna chase a little @ sign through a dungeon that is our player, and we're trying to go into the dungeon and kill the monsters and get back out alive. I'm not very good at this game, but I figured I'd give you all something to laugh at. I'm gonna start a new player, and you can see what the game's like, and you can see how I suck at this game. So first we do is generate a player. We have a choice of different races. As you can see, the different races have different modifiers to their stats. What I'm looking for is I'm going to play a warrior, so I want to do something. I'm going to be interested in strength, dex, and con. So let's maybe do something like this. Let's do a half orc, because I get a bit of strength, I get a bit of constitution, so I get more hit points than other races, and intelligence. Nobody needs to be smart when you just have a big club and go bashing people's heads in. So let's do that. First of all, let's check the breath options. So they changed a few things. I used to play this game like years and years ago, a few versions back, and this option is very, very new, and I got very, very confused. We're gonna see there's shops inside the dungeon where you can buy stuff, and if you flip this option you can also sell stuff, and if you don't flip this option you can just give stuff to the shopkeepers, and the shopkeeper will say, "Oh nice, this is a potion of such and such," because the stuff you find you don't know what it does, and it may be harmful, it may be beneficial, so there's a point in giving it to the storekeeper so you find out if it's good or not, and if you find the similar stuff again, you can, it's safe to use. But I prefer that I can actually get money back for selling stuff. I can identify, I can sell the good stuff, I get money to buy different stuff, and I'm a bit of a hoarder, as you're gonna see. The thing is, randomize the artifacts, yes, and the other stuff is not a lot of stuff that I'm going to want to do right now. Start with a kit of useful gear. No, let's not do that. I can buy that stuff myself. And once it's learned from the mistake, yeah, sure. Okay, so I'm going to want to create a character. So I'm starting with a half orc. I can choose my race. I'm going to be a warrior, a plain, walk in, bash people, and maybe shoot people with a bow or a sling or something like that. Guy. Basically, I'm a warrior, and I want to be point based, which means I can now choose my stats. And it's starting off with a sort of default setting. As you can see, my strength up here is quite high. It's 1840 because I put a few points in there. Intelligence and wisdom are very, very low. Those I use for using magic devices and spell casting, and I cast spells anyway. So that's not very important to me. Dex is fairly high. Put a lot of points in there to get it to 1820, which is good because high strength, high dex means I get many blows with my weapons. As you can see in the middle of the screen, with some weapons I would get 4 blows, or with my bare fists I get 4 blows per turn, which is nice because if you have a weapon that has been magically enchanted to do more damage, it's nice to stick somebody 4 times per round with the damage. But still, constitution is fairly low at 13. I think I'm going to go down with to 18 with my dex, and I want to boost my constitution a bit. Let's do it like that. I mean, I wouldn't need the 1810, but it's too expensive to raise the dex back up again, and my strength is good. So I think this looks reasonable, and y'all can laugh at me because it's probably a very poor choice. So again, I can pick a name. So this is a half orc. I don't care about the name, but since I'm maybe broadcasting this, let's call the guy Tubular. character history, yeah, who gives a shit. Okay, continue. So what we see here is the town, and you see the little greater than sign. That's the entrance to the dungeon. Let me press I. Let me see. My only inventory is I have a ration of food, nothing else. But I have a fair bit of money. I have about 600 money. So stuff that we want. I want a wooden torch or 2 because the dungeon is dark. I want to see what I'm in for. I would like to have an oil lamp. I don't know if they changed the probabilities of getting the stuff from the old version to the new, because an oil lamp is a brighter flame, lights more of the dungeon at one point, and I want to get something at some point that doesn't need fuel. A wooden torch, as it says, 5,000 turns, will run out of fuel eventually, and there's flasks of oil, so lantern would need oil, but there's magic artifacts, if you will, and special items that will just give off life and light and need no fuel whatsoever. And I should get a weapon. Oh god, this sucks. So basically what you see here, there's basically no cheap weapons here at all. And also all these weapons are fairly heavy. So if we examine what this would do, the trident give me 2 blows per round. We saw in the character creation screen that I should get close to 3.5 or 4 blows with lighter weapon. I'd hope that there would be a dagger or something like that here. So, let's sneak over here. At least there's a few reasonable things in the armor shop, in the armory. And I mean, we're gonna find items in the dungeon early enough, so I don't want to spend all that much money to buy stuff, but we're gonna need a bit of stuff to protect us. So basically I think I'm gonna get the hard-studded leather armor because studded leather armor because I'm such a stud, and because that's gonna give me a bit of protection. As you can see, there's guys even in town, so blubbering idiot is not gonna do much, but I can punch him with my fist and he just dies. And some of these actually could drop money, and most of these are, more difficult to kill than the cat or the blubbering idiot. So this is the black market. This is another chance to get a decent weapon, because as you can see, the black market basically sells any old stuff, random stuff. Stuff that's from deeper in the dungeon that would be difficult to find for me at my current point. The thing I'm interested in is the mangoche, which is sort of like a dagger, only slightly bigger. So if we examine that, that gives me 3.7 blows per round. So it's an average damage of 22. And otherwise my damage would be lower. I mean, this is fairly expensive. If a mangoche in a weapon shop would be like 80 or something. But what the are you gonna do? And I'm a big fan of light weapons, so there. Let's see, this is the magic shop. Staff of Identify is going to be very important later in the game. Just, trying to kill the merchant just because it dropped some money for me. So right now we're a bit short on money with 200 left, and I've basically no... Ooh, a whip. Oh shit, that would have been very nice, because if we look at that, a whip is just as good as the mangoche or dagger in terms of damage that we do. So it's the hit dice are a bit worse. It's the average damage is a bit worse, but we paid 250 for the mangoche, and we would have paid 50 for the whip. So I guess that serves me right for not checking all the stores first. So that's my home, where you can drop a bit of stuff, because if you're a loot bear like I am, you're gonna have more stuff than you can carry, and you want to keep the good stuff and swap it in at a later point. So I'm short of money, so what do I want to get here? I definitely want to get a scroll of Face Door, which will teleport you short distance. That's very good to have and very good to know what it is, we're going to find more of those in the dungeon. And I want to get one scroll of recall, which when you read that in a dungeon, it takes you back to the town level, and if you read it in a town level, it takes you back to usually the deepest dungeon level that you've been on. So we have a bit of stuff. I would like to have some sort of healing, maybe a potion of cure light wounds. So there's several levels of curing potions. Of course, the better ones are more expensive. So yeah, let's get just one of those. Not so much because of the health benefits of the curing, of the restoring of hit points. Let's see, it doesn't do very much. It heals 20 hit points. It reduces blindness, cures blindness. That's very good. And it can cure confusion, which is very good. So there's monsters that can confuse you, and if you are confused, you can walk straight, you can hit straight. Basically, you're just staggering around, and you're very easy to hit for the monsters and very easy to kill. And basically, it's just good when we go into the dungeon right now. We're gonna see, hey, this is more potions. So let's walk over here. Let's go down to the dungeon. Ta-da! And we have a lit room. Let's press L, look around. This is a floating eye. So this is fairly dangerous at this point because a floating eye can look at you and you'll be paralyzed, and then somebody else can just walk up and just basically clobber you with a toothpick until you're dead. And so I will walk around that for a moment. Another wooden torch, metallic red potion, and a gray potion. So let's look over here, grab all that stuff. So this just went to green from purple, so the floating eye is woken up. You can also press Control P, and we'll give you the messages that you have seen there. So the floating eye wakes up, and yeah, this seems a quite peaceful place. You also have this sort of LF at the bottom of the screen. You have a sort of feeling if this is a dangerous place or a safe place, or if there's good treasure here. And so the one to the left is about the monsters, and one is the easiest setting that there is. I wonder why have I? I have my torch. So I'm searching for doors here. Not but cobwebs, as you can see, is the quality of treasures is the lowest setting. So this is a scroll. Let's just what? Let's pick up the scroll, and that's another floating eye. Basically, what I could have done is I could have went to the shop. I should have bought a sling and some pebbles or iron shots or something, because floating eye can only hit you when you're right next to it. It doesn't have a ranged attack, and so you can just stand back and throw stuff at it until it dies, and get experience points. Okay, lots of scrolls called Core Aliteo. So this is randomized. It's a different name every game, or the mapping. So Core Aliteo may be phased over in one game and identify the next game. So all we know is that since we got a lot of them on the first level, is probably not very good. So there's a centipede. Giant yellow centipede wakes up. So these are fairly easy to push over. You just walk into it, you hit the centipede, and I've slain the centipede. And if you look in the top left corner, NXT is the experience points until the next level. It's gone down to 8, so at some point I'm going to level up to level 2 and get more hit points and stuff. So I can sort of scroll around on the map here, because, as it told me, this is a fairly sucky level with not so much in terms of good treasures here. I just go on and pick up all the gold that I can so I can buy more stuff. So I dig away, and yay, and I found more potions of cure light wounds. So you see, so you can dig away the rubble, and sometimes there's something in there. And as you can see, it's good to know that this is cure light wounds, because now I have 4 potions that I know what they do. A pair of leather sandals. I'm just going to pick them up. I'm going to walk around with these for a couple of turns, because I'm a warrior, so after a few turns of just carrying those, depending on the character level that I am, I get this feeling that, oh, well, these shoes feel really, really good. They're really good to walk in. They're magically enchanted to have a more armor protection, or they're average. I mean, right now I probably should wear them right away because I don't have any shoes on and everything. So this will be at least one armor class, and maybe it would say snake, fleas, and terror. I think as soon as the snake hits me, it's going to tell me, hey, you know more about the shoes, because whenever something attacks you, you get an idea of what your true armor class is. So it could be enchanted to give me more than one armor class bonus, but since my feeling about this level is that, hey, this level isn't so hot. Oh, what was that message? Oh, nothing, just a wall. This level isn't too hot in terms of treasure. It's probably just going to be a regular old shoes. Oh, we're at giant white mouse. So we have to move in there and kill that stuff because they breed, they multiply like crazy. So if you wake it up and it's woken up, you can see the green bar. It would be blue if the monster is asleep, and there's a purple when the monster is asleep and blue when it's afraid. It multiplies. So if I go away now, come back at a later point, there's going to be lots of rats, and this can be good because rats are easy to kill and it's just easy experience points. On the other hand, I'm not going to be able to walk through that and get to where I want to because I'm getting swamped by rats. So kill that. And as you see, I've now gained level 2, and as you can see, I've turned yellow. That's because my maximum hit points have gone up and my actual hit points haven't gone up. So, as you see, it took a while. Now it's 21. It sort of starts to turn yellow and orange and red if you lose your health. Okay, flask of oil, which is good. This is not only good for lanterns, you can also throw flasks of oil at monsters, do a bit of damage. So, in case you have nothing better, but what you really, really want at some point is to get a sort of sling or crossbow or something like that. Yeah, so this is the message I was talking about. You know more about the pair of leather sandals that you're wearing. Press E to look at my equipment, and now it says me 1 and the enchantment is +0, but that's fair enough, and let's kill this mushroom patch. So, icky things. Let's kill all the icky things. Worms. Another one to run and kill because worms can multiply. And a kobold. Small kobold. And it's asleep, so I can sneak up and try to kill it. So the small things are fairly easy to kill. Largely because, well, I'm a warrior and I get almost 4 attacks per round. And, I'm fairly good at hitting things. I'm fairly good at damaging things. And here I found a trap. I'm confused. So I'm going to try moving northwards now, and there's a fair chance it's going to tell me, oh, there's a wall in the way, you're too confused, you're bumping into the wall. So let's try. Yeah, there's a wall in the way. There's a wall in the way. So you can see it's fairly difficult for me to move. There's a certain chance of not being, not going where I want to go. I'm just staying put, and if you imagine there's monsters on either side of me, that is a very dangerous situation. So let's just rest up here. I'm no longer confused. Let's disarm that trap, which is a capital D. Oh no, and I didn't manage, so I'm not smart enough to do it first try, but second try I do. I didn't look at the experience points, but it's very possible that I get a few experience points for trying to disarm a trap. So, you see, clear icky thing, kill all the icky things. And what's that potion? Metallic red. Okay, let's step here. Point is the grey mold just hit me with spores. Achoo! So let's kill it back because I don't take no spores from anybody. So, and this right now is all, I mean, there's not much to expect here. It told me it was a fairly unexciting level with not so much in terms of monsters. Well, there's a secret door. And not so much in ways of treasure. Yeah. See, and I did a stupid thing here, to be honest. I hit the floating eye, it could have frozen me, could have paralyzed me, but it didn't. And now I'm level 3. And you see I gained a whole lot of hit points there, which is why I'm orange now. Just collecting more of these potions, collect more of the money. Of course, yeah, let me kill you. Let me kill you. Okay, this looks like, I'm scrolling around here, this looks like I've explored everything that there is to explore. So, I'm at the first level. I'm just gonna go plain up. I'm not gonna use the scroll of recall. I just want to head back to the town. Because sometimes, well, first thing, take off the torch. As you see, we've spent about 1400 turns in the dungeon now. And we can see because sometimes the stores get new stuff after you've gone. Well, they got to, because otherwise at some point you would just bought all of this. So what do we have here? So longbow. Longbow is fairly nice if you get some arrows for it. You have this multiplier there times 3, which means an ordinary arrow will be something like 1d4 plus enchantment. And so because it's a longbow, it will be tripled. A short bow of power, which is a magic item, an ego item as they're called, of power basically means it has a very large to damage bonus. So the first one is to hit plus 6, and the second one is to damage plus 15. I don't recall if that's before or after being doubled, but that would be a fairly nice weapon, but at 1400 that's a bit more money than we have right now. And by the time we have that much money, we probably have it's probably gone from the store. So, as you can see, you can buy whiskey and wine, which are totally pointless. Do they actually confuse you? I think it's possible that, yeah, it raises your spirits, it feeds you for 125 turns, which might be okay, but it confuses you for up to 4 turns. So what's the point of that? Let's see if there's interesting stuff that we can sell. I don't think there's much point in selling the torches, we need them. Flask of oil. What? As it says, going to give us 2 gold for that. That's not worth it. Generation of food, we need that. No. It's something else here. So the interesting thing to sell here is we have 2 metallic red potions. Let's sell one of them, and the shopkeeper is going to say what it is. Yep, sell it for 13. Oh, potion of speed, which is nice, which makes you faster for a limited time. And being fast is good because you hit things more often, or you can run away fast if you're tired of hitting things. So one of these, neutralize poison, which is very nice. There's monsters with poison attacks, and the bad thing about poison attacks is it doesn't just damage you outright, but you get poisoned, so you lose hit points for the next 20 turns or next 60 turns or something like that. So even if you kill the bad guy and you run away, you will still die later on. So I'm going to sell some of the other stuff. So I only have one of these, but it doesn't matter. It can't be too good because it was a fairly ordinary level. So resist heat, yeah, who gives a shit. So I sort of try to only sell one of these because many scrolls are just good things. So I sell one to identify and I keep the rest. Treasure detection, which is good. It shows you where the objects and the gold in the dungeon is in the limited section of the dungeon. And sell this scroll of blessing, which is one of those things that don't make much sense to me. There's Skull of Blessing and there's Holy Chant, and what they do is they temporarily give you better armor class. I don't think they even make you fearless or anything like that. Let's look at the descriptions. I'm hitting X so I can get a description of anything the store sells, and Z. Yeah, it extends your armor class. Oh, it gives me a 2-hit bonus. Okay, but it's 7 to 18 turns, so that's good if you're fighting against a baddie, having blessing or holy chant. I think holy chant just lasts longer. It makes you better at fighting stuff for limited amount. Is that a... oh god, that's a street urchin. Go, let's kill that. So they can attack you to steal money, and that's really not something that I want now, having money stolen from me. Anything to sell here? No. Anything I want to buy here? Well, I could buy a shield and a cap or stuff like that. So you can sort of see that the standard wicker shield or stuff like that is fairly cheap. On the other hand, we're gonna find stuff in the dungeon soon enough. So what's there? Oh wow! So the temple is very good with interesting things now. As you can see, this U is holy chant. Let's see. Yeah. So that's holy chant is basically like double blessing. So I don't think it's very intuitive. I can't remember which is the better one, and I think they're both fairly pointless. So a few more ego items here. Morning Soul Slay Dragon. So this is very cool. This will double or triple your damage when you fight dragons, but that won't be for a while. Warhammer of extra attacks, if I could afford that would be really great, because 2 extra attacks, just forget that, it would give me, well, average damage of 44, so it's a very heavy weapon, but still would give me a lot of blows, and do a lot of damage, really. Let's look at the magic store. Nothing I can afford, nothing that's too interesting. Ring of Searching, Ring of Protection just increases your armor class. Searching makes you better at finding secret doors and stuff. That's usually not worth buying. Those aren't even worth picking up in the dungeon and selling, usually. So, yeah, so this was the very first, very short trip. Did I look at the black market? Yeah, well, so there's nothing exciting here. Mushrooms of Debility. I usually don't bother with mushrooms. Most of them are sort of so-so effects. I mean, there's ones that are sort of nice. Mushroom of Emergency makes you hallucinate and resistant, but it also heals you and feeds you, which is kind of weird. So it gives you a lot of healing, but since you hallucinate, you become very bad at actual fighting stuff, because you don't know what you're fighting. And so, yeah, eat in case of emergency. And Debility sounds like a downright bad mushroom. Well, it feeds me, but it reduces your strength or your constitution, and those go back up when you gain a level. But as you go on, there's leveling up occurs less and less often, so this is very bad. So, I'm not exactly blessed with lots of money right now. If I had lots of money, I would maybe buy a Mushroom of Debility and sell it right back, just so that when I go to the dungeon I will recognize those and kill those right away, or not bother picking them up and not eating them by chance. So anyway, I think that is enough for now, and my voice is kind of going. So next time we're gonna go back into the dungeon and we're gonna fight more monsters. And if you have any comments, comment, and if you want to tell me that I suck, okay, tell me I suck. The game isn't very exciting so far. That will take a couple more episodes. So, bye bye.